Good evening and welcome to the Mindful Garden. This is second video today. I guess I'm being a bit greedy, but uh, we'll we'll see. This one's a different topic. The other one, that's exactly why, because I'm trying to, I don't know, more content a little bit. Just being, just being me, I guess. Anyway. So, as usual, we're going to start out with centering breath and get ourselves centered. We're already kind of prepared for this one. Tonight is an interesting topic. Earlier, we had some more fun and worked with the tarot cards, and now we're going to get a little bit more serious and talk more psychic channeling abilities and stuff like that, which we all have, where it's athletes who use it all the time, people who use it all the time. I'll try and explain that as we go. So anyway, my experience with channeling. Some of my experience with channeling has been very interesting. Simple stuff like just auto writing, doing comments on Facebook. Some of my notoriety that has come with some people liking me has come from comments that I don't remember writing at all. Like I did, like it was all auto written and very. When I read back and read the comment after it being liked or loved or whatever, or replied to, it's interesting because sometimes I come back to them, and the people would say that could be a part of my mental illness, but I actually think it's something a little bit more interesting. And because like I did it as a kid when I painted and when I drew, like look at these pictures, like when I get in the mode, I get in the mode and I just go and I can draw it quite well. But it takes the certain it's it's like a certain part of me that comes out when I do that. But anyway, so I've done some auto writing, channeling messages to various people on Facebook and stuff like that. And it's an interesting thing that's been happening to me because it only happens occasionally. Like it's not, and it's not like I can bring it on purposely. I've tried to, and I'm doing these videos eventually to get to the point where either me or someone I know will channel on that I'm definitely gonna try and have that on here as one of my videos. But today I actually channel a little bit. Just I don't know necessarily who or what or they were. I can't. It's hard to explain. Some people would say you were speaking to God if you were religious. Like I suppose that's a nice way to look at it. Having a conversation with the Almighty or whatever is an interesting way to look at it. But it happened today, and it wasn't like it was. I self-inflicted, and I kind of brought it on myself, which was done on purpose, but it was very interesting to do. And so now I know I can actually bring it on, and my wife being in the room can actually bring me out of the state. It's because it's an altered state of mind, and it's like you're there but you're not. Like for me, it's like you're present, but you're not really present, and sometimes you're not present at all. And that's an interesting state of mind, and that's something I have to practice. Like, I'm currently on medication, so I don't have to worry about having any slips that way anyway, but don't have to get into deep of that. But I know, like, it's a way of I'm learning how to navigate it so that I can do without medication and stuff eventually, just because I know that, like, there is a potential in future where things won't be available. That's just a possibility, and luck always favors the prepared. So if I can develop the skills to deal with my altered state of mind and bring myself out of it in a safe manner, then that's a good thing to practice, I would think. Anyway, um, but the channel today, like, see, even thinking about it is kind of bringing on the state of mind a little bit, which is interesting. Very interesting, actually. Um, Today, most of what came through was just for parties involved, so I won't share the information. It was for me and my wife, but it was just basic information for us that we don't need to get into. But some of what it was talking about was very interesting to me, and it was talking about human beings actually being collectives of spiritual self, like they're like we are the culmination of our ancestors. That's probably about the best. I'm trying to put it in a, like, I'm trying to put it in a interest, because of the, when you're in this state of mind, it's hard to glean information, and they're like okay, like, some people talk about downloads and stuff like that. At the same time, whenever I connect like that, I, like, you definitely get a whole bunch of that. I wouldn't be surprised if something comes up with my spiritual work with my wife and that, and we come up with some things. But this has been a very interesting walk for me. Experiencing channeling has been a very humbling experience, actually. Like, because you have to let go completely. It's a lot of trust to let something else drive your, at least, tongue, right? Like, you don't, like the you set yourself protection, and you make it so that you don't have it, so that, like, you don't have control over yourself completely. Like, I'm sure there is dangers to it. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I wouldn't. I would love some people's input on that one, actually. Is there really some, like, grave dangers to the opening of this door that they don't talk about, or is it that a way to scare people away from it that they talk about? I don't know, and that's why I'm going down this carefully and mindfully, trying to experiment down with this, and um, yeah, so, like I said, I'm kind of been excited about talking about this, so it's very interesting to talk about um, the channeling today. Like I said, it was mostly just personal. Like, I'm not saying like personal, like personal family information, but it's like, to the conversation that we were having at the time, it was just directed towards that, because of what we're working on spiritually. Like, we're both experimenting with how we can connect to the universe mentally and more deeply, and how we can function in the other dimensions and glean information and bring it back to this dimension. If that makes any sense to anybody, that'd be great. um, and if like, and there's different timelines, which is what people reside in. Which this is hard to explain. This is really hard to explain. Like, every person is their own reality and create their own reality bubble. I've talked about this before. And in doing that, we are a manifestation bubble. But of course, everybody's manifestation works together. But like, even my glass of water manifests itself. Does that make sense a little bit? I hope. But then, like, and that's kind of some of the stuff I've been gleaning from, like, my channelings are very deep information, because like I've been asking questions of myself a long time as a very introspective person, and in doing that, didn't realize that I was actually asking my higher self these questions and setting my higher self on journeys of introspection. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, and in my connection today, one of the interesting things that came up, like, like I said, we are the culmination of our ancestors. So what is Matt Hallis is like a personality that's based on the name given to a child that was born into a family. And my bloodline and my spiritual bloodline, both are two different things, kind of came up. And it was kind of saying, like, I'm living multiple lifetimes to get to a goal that is like, there's more, like let's put it this, there's got to be more to life, and that's basically what I channeled today. Is there's more to life, and it was a deep understanding of that it's very hard to convey. I'll be honest, just because, like, there's a deep understanding that we are all life is a vessel for which spiritual energies view reality through, and all people are that, and we choose who we call to, like, who we idolize and who we think of often. I hope this makes sense, connects us to the spiritual connections of those people and their spiritual lines, which connects us to our collective. And in our collective, we definitely have I'm hoping to find a way that we can really connect, like, that I can connect and convey messages to people, not telepathically would be how to put it, but like, maybe even just with starting off with just doing it with the emotional expression, if that would make sense. But there's a deeper connection to our collective that is very interesting to me, and that's what's been coming up. Anyway, like, I'm getting a little sidetracked. Like, the channeling that I've been doing has been very basic. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying like I'm an experienced person in this field at all, and that's basically like I'm a skeptic playing around in it, trying to understand it to get a good grasp so that I can explain it to people. And today's experience has made it so that I can kind of explain. Like, what I did is I brought myself to my heart space, but in doing that, um, I just asked to connect deeply to the universe in my own way, or to whoever you spiritually connect to. So, like, if you're Christian, say, like, if you connect to Christ, you pray that you would connect to Christ and want to connect and speak directly to Christ. Like, for me, like, that's the way I would say you would do it. But, like, for me, it's the universe. So, like, that's what I did. And in doing that, like, is a very profound emotional experience, because there's a lot of sorrow that comes along. Like, there's a lot of emotional purging that comes through connecting to everything like that, because you've got to let go of your emotional body a little bit and just completely let go, because that's how what is going to speak through you is going to convey some of this messaging. It's going to take over your emotions, and when you speak, it's weird because, like, you're not like um I I haven't been witnessing all of the sessions that my wife has done, but some of them have been very interesting, and hearing her reports have been very interesting, and the experiences that I've had with her myself now, the altered state that comes on with it, with channeling, is actually a very profound connection, because she gets information that I know she would not have herself, and it just comes out. So it's very interesting. And like, this is, like I say, this is coming from a skeptic, atheistic standpoint. Like, growing up, I am not, but like, I've always had a deep connection to things, so I suppose that's where my connection comes in, because I've always been very inquisitive about all of this, but I've always been very, like, I'm very scientific in my, and very being very, we're like very cautious and setting special intent in doing this, and that is what I'm finding very important. And doing the intent has made it so that we can kind of go in and out almost on demand, and we're going to learn how to do this, and we'll maybe I'll definitely try and teach people how to do it so that they can do it in a safe manner, and not like I say, I think I've actually been learning how to do this, and it's been part of my, what expressed as mental illness. And if I can explain that to my psychiatrist, he might try and understand it in a different light. Like, I don't think modern medicine understands the awakening of a shaman, which is kind of what's going on, I think. And I think that's what a lot of people suffering from mental illness are doing, if that makes sense. Like, they're coming into a different, completely different state of mind for themselves, and they have to come to grips with modern society doesn't necessarily promote what a shaman would really be, because a shaman has a deep spiritual connection, which means channeling for people so that they can get messages from, we could say, the spirit world, or, like, for me, like, it's a collective of all of the consciousness that is reality, is the best way I can put it. And because, like it's from the universe, it's from the earth, it's from your friends and family, it's like, it comes from everywhere. It comes, like I said, like, it even comes from this glass of water, which I'm going to drink a little bit here. But anyway, I'm going a little bit long tonight, but this is a very interesting topic for me, and I'm very excited that I had an experience today. I'm very glad that it was very short and brief. Like it was a nice experience that way, just because like I don't want to get lost to that. Like I know from myself that I would like to get lost to that kind of experience a little bit, because as much as I hated being sent to the hospital for my mental illness at times, what happened at that time was a very profound experience from what I saw and understood, and now being like hearing it from the state of mind of a person standing by from a completely non-objective way, and hearing from my like being able to remember from my layer of that perspective makes it so that I can put two together, so that I can see what was going on in reality at time and what I was reacting to in my state. And like I said, it's being in a different altered state, so, and learning how to come in and out of that altered state properly and safely is something that's going to be very important, I think. And learning how to do that, I'm hoping, will help me learn how to deal with my mental illness, and like I said, maybe eventually learn how to come off the medication and not have to deal with it. But that may also have to live a different lifestyle completely than I am. Well, I'm not necessarily am right now. I am already taking steps. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm setting myself up to live in a more connected life. But anyway, part of the channeling information that I got was to do with the ringing in my head, which some people may understand as stuff, and I deal with it all the time, and it's very debilitating at times for me. But it also is a gift. I can't deny that truth, because it does speak to me when, like, at certain times the ringing in my right ear is different, and at certain times the ringing in my left ear is different, and the tone goes with what someone is saying, and it has to do with either my physical self or my spiritual self, or both, where the ringing will be balanced between the two, but like it will be a tone change in it, because I have it all the time. Because from what I got from my channel today is I'm kind of like a meat puppet. I've been kind of a meat puppet since I was born, because I can't remember exactly the details of it, but I was wrapped up in my umbilical cord when I was being born, and I think I was an emergency C-section because my heart stopped or something like that. But anyway, at that point in time, I think I was swapped, what people call a soul swap, at that time, because it's hard to explain to me, but at that time, like, a new driver took over Matt Hallis. Does this make sense? So I hope it makes sense to some people. But the time for us to, oh, sorry, I'm being a little sidetracked by that. I'm getting the ringing in my ear because it's trying to tell me I should close out my video, I think. Anyway, this has been a very interesting topic. I could go on for quite a while about it, especially because, like I said, like right now, it's like my head's talking to me in a way. Does that make sense? Let's close out with a prayer for opening up hearts and minds. Let's get people to understand our deep-rooted connection to each other. If that's one thing I could teach people, is every action you do sends waves out into reality, and you have to be responsible for it, even your negative waves. Like I get like I get very depressed, but I try and manage that to the best of my ability and not have it like I don't take it out on people. I learn to manage it and properly digest that dark part of myself, even though sometimes it takes a good month or two of positive reinforcement of my inner mental self. Like talking to myself positively is hard work. It takes time sometimes to counteract the physical reaction to the mental illness that causes depression in a human mind. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, anyway, open up hearts and minds. Let's close out with that prayer. It's been a little bit longer video than I expected. Thank you for anybody checking me out. This has been the Mindful Garden, and you please walk in peace. We are the peaceful path. We are the doorway. We are the gateway through everything. We are the viewing window upon reality. That is the best way I can put it. To like all life is a viewing window, like your dog is too. So your dog's looking back at you just as inquisitively as you were looking at him. I can guarantee that. You guys have a good night. Bye.